Shalom. This is Howard 1 by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha Rakah Kodash, Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Agwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This is going to be a quick news and prophecy update. This is why the Lord said be circumspect, and also He told us this right here. Matter of fact, let me get this. This is Isaiah 62 and 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Yerushalayim, meaning the elect of Israel. So the Lord has set up watchers that watch for the signs, watch for the prophecies, all right, to come to pass, and watch for the danger to give warning. That's what watchers do. Let's get that real quick. This is Isaiah 21 and 6. For thus hath Yahweh said unto me, Go set a watchman, let him declare what he seeth. Man. So whenever the Lord sends out watchmen, our job is to declare what we see, and we declare it on video or we declare it out in the open on the streets. Everything we see according to the prophecies. When we see part of the signs pass, all right, just like Job said, he said, though I die and worms destroy this body and my flesh, I know that I shall see my Redeemer with these eyes on the earth. Meaning with fleshly eyes, he was going to see Yahweh Shai someday. That's Revelations, what's that, 1 and 7. He cometh with clouds and every eye shall see him. All right, so our job is to watch. That's 2nd Ezra chapter 9. All right, watch for the signs, measuring the time diligently in itself. Okay, for thus hath Yahweh said unto me, Go set a watchman, let him declare what he seeth, and that's what we do. All right, Isaiah 62 and 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. And the way we do that, we're teaching all around the world. Sometimes you may be teaching in the daytime, and the next thing you know, you're teaching 3 in the morning. Your shift may change, man. Just like watchtowers. All right, but also through the unicorn. All right, and also the internet. Okay, and YouTube. It said, "Will it run for thee?" Meaning we put our lessons, our epistles, on this internet, not only through YouTube, but YouTube is the main one. And then it goes day and night. People can get the word day and night. All right, but we also never holding our peace, meaning we're always teaching, always praying and crying out to the Lord, or prophesying. Which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of Yahweh, keep not silent. See, the Lord telling us not to be silent. You see that? But what is the Lord telling to America and that spirit of Babylon, those that are in confusion? I want to get that at the I read this article. So the Lord telling us not to be silent. All right, telling us to come out to the forefront. Show thy face, neither shall thy teachers be pushed into a corner anymore. Give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. All right, so now, one of the major prophecies before the end, which represents the end, 12 o'clock, is World War III. All right, but in the MOTB, before all that happens, World War III, when they push that MOTB and World War III ignites and then it gets to a climax point, that's when you're going to get the ICBMs. And this place is going to be destroyed. So we're close to that time, man. All right, so I want to read this real quick. It says, the U.S. World War III. All right. FBI attacks. Oh, this is from the FBI today or yesterday, allegedly. This guy videos His page is Steve Ram. He one of those fearmonger fearmongers slash doomsday preppers. So we appreciate it because we're into prophecy anyway. It ain't doing nothing but hastening the day, in our mindset with the signs, and the urgency. But that fear mongering, they try to get views. You know what I'm saying? Put, oh man, this is happening. Oh, like Alex Jones says, the FBI warns of an attacks in the U.S. coming all at once. That's what everything's building up to, all at once. All right. He said that's why the scriptures say. The Lord said, "Though it tarry, wait for it, man. It's building up. Everything is prepared upon the earth." The Lord just saying, "Let me put this bricks together." You know, um, that's right. So let's get that real quick. This is Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and America is the daughter of Babylon today, spiritual Babylon. As is the mother, so is the daughter. And against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. So anybody that's proud and wicked in this place, they're going to get caught up in that nuclear blast and destroying winds. And will send unto Babylon fanners, and they shall fan her. See that? So the Lord is sending unto Babylon a threat or enemies, foreign nations that shall scatter her and shake up this place, like Russia's um, breathing down the neck of America by posting up in Cuba. All right, that shall fan her and shall empty her land. So they're going to empty this place, turn it into a sea of glass. All right, a parking lot. For in the day of trouble, see, once this place is brought into trouble, economic collapse, Habakkuk 2, the debt, civil war, what do you call that? The elections, right? Civil unrest. For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. And that trouble is going to be trouble also for 2/3, the Jacob's trouble, and for us. But we're hoping and praying to be delivered out of it. All right. So now, um, it says, "Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow." So what they doing right now? Preparing and getting their nuclear arsenals together, and all those nations going to shoot their missiles different times, but also simultaneously. That's when you get Revelation chapter 9, 200 million. All right. And against him that lifteth up himself in his brigadine, meaning in his brigadine is like a mesh armor that would protect you. So it would be like his defenses or missile defenses. All right. Or in their pride. Against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. So all this is going to happen. So those nations have been preparing their weapons. Look at Russia for 10 years, I think it was, in 1990s. They just been preparing their nuclear arsenals, just like China. All right, that's why the Lord said in the scriptures this thing was going to happen unexpectedly. Okay, so the FBI is warning of attacks on the U.S. soil coming all at once. All right, it says from cybercrime to terrorism. FBI director says Babylon faces many elevated threats all at once. The head of the FBI says that Babylon is facing heightened threats from many corners at a time when law enforcement agencies are struggling. Wow. All right. So yeah, it says at a time when law enforcement agencies are struggling. So they're not going to be able to deal with what's coming. See, a curse is on this whole land, on the finances, the banking, the religious systems, the entertainment, set up here in America, the um, law enforcement agencies, right, on the citizens, the children, the food, the crops, the leaders of this place. The Lord has a curse on them. All right, so it said the law enforcement is struggling. Jeremiah 51 and 55, because Yahweh have spoiled Babylon. See that? The Lord is spoiling this place. And destroyed out of her the great voice. See, the mirth of the land is gone, all that pride and cockiness. You know, when her waves do roar like great waters, a noise of their voice is uttered, man. So it's basically saying, um, just like when say the enemy gonna come and rushing like a flood, talking about their military. Well, that's issued by their commands, by their policies. When they talk about a new world order, when they talk about democracy or the dollar, all these things are uttered by the presidents or these administrations of this place. And it's like waves of water rushing out. Because the spoiler is come upon her. So you ain't gonna hear none of that boasting anymore, because the spoiler is come upon her. And the Lord gonna send the spoiler, which is gonna be people like Russia and these other nations. Because the spoiler is come upon her, which is really Yahweh, he's gonna be the one that spoils this place. Even upon Babylon, and her mighty men are taken. All the law enforcement agencies. Every one of their bows is broken. All right, man. So this place is not going to be able to defend itself from what's coming. It's going to come all at once. For Yahweh, the power of recompenses shall surely requite. And I will make drunk her princes and her wise men, her captains, and her rulers and her mighty men, the police agencies. And they shall sleep a perpetual sleep and not awake, saith the King, whose name is Yahweh of hosts. Whew. That's right, man. So it's all gonna happen at once, man. They talking about cyber attacks, all these, different civil war talks, civil unrest, and attacks from outside sources like these foreign nations, like Russia, China, Iran. The migrants. Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. In the day, yeah. So like, let me make sure I'm at the right spot. There you go. All right, so let's get this real quick. Remember now thy creator in the verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Just like an old man or old person, when they get to a certain age, their body becomes less useful, and they begin to have no pleasure in this life. All right, in that flesh, and then we depart, born again onto the earth and have new flesh. So this is saying basically, remember the Lord, and while we're young, remember the Lord before the prophecy started to go crazy. Everything started kicking off. While the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened. And they're going to be darkened from the destruction. All right? The nuclear fallout. Nor the clouds return after the rain. So in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. So who the keepers of the house? The police agencies, the politicians, the mayors of different cities. They're the keepers of the house, and they're trembling, and they're going to be trembling. And the strong men shall bow themselves. See that? The law enforcement and military. And the grinders shall cease because they are few, and there's not going to be any employment. Okay? Not going to be any jobs, not going to be any workers. Once the economy crashes. And we're in a recession right now. And those that look out the windows be darkened, and that represents fear. So people that's the citizens of this place, they're gonna be in fear looking out of their houses at what's going on out in the streets in this place and in their neighborhoods. And then also the keepers of the house are going to tremble as well, which is the law enforcement and the politicians and mayors and people that govern the cities. All right, this is Jeremiah 50 and 34. Their Redeemer is strong. Who is talking about the elect? Let's go to 33. Thus saith Yahweh of the heavenly armies, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. See, this is the place of our oppression, and we have to be freed from this place. And all that took them captives held them fast, and they refused to let them go. That's why we're still here. They refused to let us go. All right. They said we can go back to that land, Israel, but you got to have a passport. Or if you want to move to that land, which I don't suggest, while the heathens are there, they're going to make you join their military. So, so they refused to let us go, just like ancient Egypt. That's why place is called spiritual Egypt. Their Redeemer is strong, powerful. Yahweh of the heavenly armies, the heavenly host, is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause. All right, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Whoo! All right, so we're gonna have rest, but this place is gonna be risen to his feet from alarm and panic, disquieted. A sword is upon the Chaldeans. Okay, the elites, the bankers, saith Yahweh, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon. So, and upon this place, daughter of Babylon. So, not only upon Esau over in Europe and around the world, but also here in this place. All right, and upon her princes and upon her wise men. So, upon their nobles, upon these. Look at Biden, man. Look at Kamala. Look at Trump. They trying to take him out, assassinate him. So the Lord, he putting them through the ringer right now. A sword is upon the liars, the politicians. That's what they are, liars. And they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, police agencies, man. And they shall be dismayed. Wow, man. So they're gonna be dismayed. So let's get those two words. Right? So all their leaders and their agencies, they're gonna be what? To dote means to be foolish, to become fools. Show wicked folly. And that's what we're seeing all over these damn elections and shit. Nothing but wickedness and folly. All right. So, all right, and it says they're gonna all be dismayed. Meaning what? To prostrate, to break down. They're gonna be broken by violence, by confusion, and fear. Damn. You see how prideful a lot of these agencies are, man. They're nothing but humans themselves, but they just change clothes, and now their demeanor changes. They become prideful and shit, and tyrants. What it says what? They're gonna break down from the confusion and the violence of this place, to cause to be dismayed or terrified. All right, so there's nothing but mourning coming to this place, and darkness and confusion. And from that confusion and darkness, the Lord is going to bring fear and dread upon the people of this place. Second Ezra 15 and 12. Egypt shall mourn. See, this place is going to mourn, man, first, before the destruction. And the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. So this place is spiritually Egypt, and it's the Most High that's bringing the judgment and the plagues upon this place. They that till the ground shall mourn. So all the farmers, you hear about them, are mourning. All right, and that goes into those that maintain the state of this world, this place, like the bankers and the employers. It says, and really the farmers. Okay, It says Egypt shall mourn, man. So this place is going to mourn. And they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. This is a sedition, meaning um, civil unrest. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, their presidents, or nor their princes, like their mayors and governors. So the citizens aren't going to hear them anymore. And the course of their actions shall stand in their own power, man. That's the people. They say power to the people, right? All right. So a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Come on, man. All right. Let's get this real quick. All right. So Zephaniah 1 and 14. The great day of Yahweh is near. It is near, and it hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh. The mighty man, the mighty man, right, shall cry there bitterly, man, because they're the ones set up to protect this place, the police and all that. But when they see what's happening, what's coming to America, it's not going to be Eddie Murphy. It's going to be all hell breaking loose in a handbasket. It said that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, right? It said men shall be in fear, and the mighty men going to be in fear. They're going to tremble. A day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers, right? This is Jeremiah 50 and 21. Go up against the land of Merathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod. All right, so these are both um, titles for what's that called? Shinar, Babylon. All right. It says waste, and today that will represent America. Waste utterly, destroy after them, saith Yahweh, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. All right. So now, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. See, that's what we're hearing about. That there's going to be a battle in this place. The people versus the government, the people versus each other. They're going to be invading one another. The law enforcement agencies against each other and against the police and against invaders. And it's going to bring so much fear and dread upon the human mind that they're going to break down. All right. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right. So Luke 21 and 25, these are the words of Yahushua in red letter. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. We just had a super moon the other night, a super blue moon. All right, Monday on the Sabbath. And then the stars, and upon they said stars, the star is supposed to be exploding real soon. That's another sign. And upon the earth, distress of nations. That's why you're seeing all these different nations rising up against each other. You know, and insurrections happening and protests with perplexity. The sea and the waves will be roaring, man. All right, so all hell breaking loose. Men's heart failing them for fear. Look at that. All right, so men's hearts failing them for fear. See that? All that pride, all their plans, they're going to be moving around in foolishness and everything they think they can do, they're not going to be able to. Man. So everything we're seeing them do now is all foolishness. The Lord gonna laugh at them. When men's heart failing them for fear, man. No matter what type of uniform they got on, they're gonna be scared. And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, they're gonna see it. All right, it's gonna cause them to break down. And men's heart failing them, it also goes into their mind and their plans, everything. You know, going down with the sinking ship. That's why the Lord told us to get our minds out of this place, flee Babylon. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. All right, talking about what? The earth. And when the missiles hit. Okay, so now, let's get this. All right, so he said what? The FBI is saying that it's going to allegedly could be attacks all at once. That's what everything's building up to. And what the Lord said, what? Though it tarry, wait for it. It will surely come. It's building up. Isaiah 30 and 13. He said, building up, it's building up, and now it's solid, solid as a rock. So, Isaiah 30 and 13. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, man. Swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. So everything's building up until this place just breaks. Man. All right. So it's gonna what? Everything gonna happen suddenly at an instant, all at once. All right. So Isaiah 47 and 5. Sit thou silent, man. So this place was known as beautiful Babylon. Now it's known as um, the wounded warrior. Nah, well, to sit in silence, man. Sit there and hide. You know, that's why I said the sound of battle is in the land. Get raise up the defenses and everything. Get thee into darkness, man. Okay. And that darkness represents confusion, meaning sit your ass in confusion and foolishness. And through that confusion is going to bring fear upon their mighty men and their politicians and leaders and the law enforcement. O daughter of the Chaldeans, right? That's America. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms, ruling over kingdoms, right? You know the ore of Babylon. You know, in bed with all these different nations and kingdoms. So now it's gonna be sitting desolate and by itself and ravaged in mud. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance. See, the Lord spoiled us because we were being wicked. And that's why we ended up in this place. That's the only reason this place exists. Is for our punishment and our deliverance. All right. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. That's why I said the children of Israel were oppressed together. Thou didst show them no mercy. All right. Revelation 13, Revelation 18, Revelation 17. They set out and made war against us and prevailed. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke, man. So, upon Jacob, they have heavily laid thy yoke, especially amongst the elderly of our nation, 60s and 70s. All right, slavery, um, shit, and they still got a lot of those alleged Black Panthers in prison. You know, civil rights leaders. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. All right, so what? Here you go. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. What's the latter end of the triumphing of the wicked is short. See, even though this place had many lovers, many protectors, and pimps, it's still gonna be sitting desolate at the end of the day. Okay. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that has no. This place had no morals, man, and they promote that here. What they call liberalism. That sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. See, uh, since the establishment of America, they've been boastful, and trying to keep the other nations under them. Now the BRICS nations are saying they are strong. All right. Um, and it says what America saying, I shall not sit as a widow, meaning they shall never be alone. Neither shall I know the loss of children. And they saying that the citizens and everybody here, they're going to keep ruling over many nations in this place. It'll always be the melting pot, and that's not true. The scriptures say a lot of nations are going to run from here, flee from here, and the people that are here are going to get destroyed. This place is going to be an empty parking lot, all right, or a desert. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. What did they say? Everything's going to happen at once. And that's true. All these things are going to happen in a moment and in one day. The loss of children, all right, the people that are here, and widowhood is going to be left um, without any helpers. That's Nahum chapter 3. They shall come upon thee, what? In their perfection. So everything's building up at once, and it's going to all just rush against this place, man. Cyber attacks, whatever they said, martial law, civil unrest, terrorism attacks, homegrown terrorism, right? Uh, World War III, MOTB, plagues. They shall come upon thee in their perfection. For the multitude of thy sorceries, so it's going to be a multitude of judgment, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. All right? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, man. Thou hast said, none seeth me, but the Lord saw everything. Excuse me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it ariseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, man. It's all going to happen at once. Simultaneously, back to back, boom, 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 boom. And people, they ain't going to be able to handle it. That's like trying to fight one person, one Mike Tyson, one problem, but then it's like 1,000 Mike Tysons that you got to fight in his prime. You ain't gonna be able to handle that. It's called being overwhelmed. The Lord is about to overwhelm this place, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So it's all gonna be built up. It just happened. Boom. That's right, man. So they're elevating the threats, and it's the Lord that's man. Let me get that real quick. This is 2nd Ezra 16:8. The mighty Lord sendeth Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, sendeth the plagues. And who is he that can drive them away? I don't care what type of agency or enforcement you are. The Lord is saying, who are you that you think you can drive this away and stop this? That the judgment that the Most High is bringing. A fire shall go forth from his wrath, right? He said, what will I if it already be kindled? So the ultimate destruction is going to be the climax of the precursor, which is going to be Jacob's trouble leading up to the missiles, which is Jacob's trouble as well. The hour of temptation with the MOTB, civil unrest, right? all hell breaking loose. Second, Revelation chapter 6, the pale horse. But all these things are going to bring fear and dread upon the society and the law enforcement and the government. All right, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear, man? And he shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Yahweh shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? All right, Job 18 and 14. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle. See that? So all the confidence of this place and the pride, he said, "O thou most proud." Everything they got faith in, they trusted in their wickedness, they trusted in their sorcery, they trusted in their government and law enforcement, in their religious system, in their banking system. That's what the banking system was built on, confidence. All right. But now they're losing confidence. So the Most High is what? His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle. So this is the tabernacle, the house of the thief. And it shall bring him to the king of terrors. Man, king of terrors, but terrifying. So with that, I'm gonna end it, and let me read this real quick one more time. All right, from cybercrime to terrorism, FBI director says Babylon faces many elevated threats, and them threats coming from the Most High, all at once. And the head of the FBI says America is facing heightened threats from many corners at a time when law enforcement agencies are struggling. All right. U.S. World War III. This is the basis of it. The FBI attacks in the U.S. or Babylon coming all at once. Look at that, man. So that's right, man. The confidence is being rooted out of this place. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom. Hope this is edifying.